Well, hello! This is your host, Eric, and we are back here with another little Gimle battle. This is the, well, what should we call it? This is the, last show of one of these ships. Because this is again in the losers bracket, and the losers of this battle will be lost forever in this grand battleship tournament. The contestants are the Nidhöggr by tetra against the Hexadecapod against plate glass armor. In a quick little overview of the contestants, the Hexadecapod by plate glass armor does have a cost of almost 2 million, so that is indeed 200k under the allowed limit. And tetra's Hexadecapod is just 1.3 million, so it is considerably cheaper. Now, if we check the interiors of this here, we can see that set the universe on fire, very inspiring. We got a load of heavy armored ducts here facing the front, making it hard to penetrate. Vulnerable to shots from the side, so it better keep that angle. And, well, set the world on fire is pretty descriptive. If we check the stats here, we have a weapon array, which is amounts to 1.3k firepower, where it's mostly missiles and some APS. So the missiles are a lot of torpedoes, and if I recall correctly, we have we got a laser system. No, I think it's just lambs, to be honest. I think it was just lambs. And inside the APS here, we have different shots, but we basically have this being a smoke warhead and a heat, right? So we're trying to make the enemy lambs less scary then. And we also try to do some damage. Okay, skimmer tip, yeah, so the smoke doesn't need to be underwater, makes sense. And the other one here is just the Hesh spammer, which I think is quite characteristic for the Nidhöggr. It feels like there was something I forgot that I should have showed that I talked about later, but I'm hoping the comment field will remind me if this is indeed the case. Hexadecapod is, on the other hand, more of a cram system, so we have a firepower of 2.7k, that's insane, and we only have cram cannons here. So it is indeed a very big, spacious thing with spread out stuff and big cram cannons. So let's get into the battle. Best of 3 in this little tournament. And both of these have already competed in this tournament, and both of them have lost, which means that this tournament is what is it? Double elimination it's called, which means that in this battle the loser will be going out of this tournament for good. So let's get to it. And before we dive into all that, I just want to say that you should definitely check out the GMODISM.com homepage. You have links to all of our assets and downloadables. And of course, you have options to support the channel here, which helps me a lot. And especially join the government of GMODISM. I'm gonna fix these images if they're not fixed already, but yeah, this is the original paint, by the way, so it's very nice. Anyways, you may wonder, why am I talking about that? Well, it's because the government of GMODISM has like 0 transfer fees, which the other options don't really have. I know, if you're in the ecclesiarchy, you get early access to videos, that's super handy. So I'm very thankful for the support either way, by the way. But for those of you that just want to support the channel like the maximum amount, the government GMODISM of GMODISM is of course the new option with low transfer fees. Yeah, whatever. First battle has started, and the Nidhöggr is spamming. They're very scary torpedoes. They have eyes, you see. Gonna be highly interesting to see, can they even catch up to the Hexadecapod? The Hexadecapod is a fast girl, you see. Ooh. We can. Look at that. I wonder if the Hexadecapod has met a match. They and the Nidhöggr is of course quite evasive. It is an evasive airship frontsider, and a lot of you are probably very surprised to even see the Nidhöggr in the loser's bracket fighting for its chance to not be eliminated from the tourney. But that is how it is. I don't think the Hexadecapod has any sieves, missiles, torpedoes. So yeah, you can see now they're exploding because they are despawning. Very interesting indeed. Like, we're not that damaged, of course, but it only takes a good hit with one of these cram cannons for the Nidhöggr to not be able to go out. Oh yeah, right, it warps. I completely forgot that it warps. That's so funny. The Nidhöggr is a warp ship. That's probably a good reason why it's not maximum expensiveness. It is a little bit cheaper because it indeed warps. Look at that, warped out of those cram shells. You don't need to warp very far to avoid crams. Yeah, that's very, very interesting. Bloom, jump. Just blinks out of existence for some second there. And here you can see, if we pause the game, we can just see the tiny array of shells coming in here. All of those Hesh shells. And of course, I think we are, I think they're mixed in with a couple of those anti-lambs shells as well. But I guess they're from separate guns. You can actually see here in real time how this does damage. Spamming Hesh like this is a good way to really deal with incoming cram. Like, not incoming cram, I'm thinking too much now when I'm speaking. They're a good way to deal with turrets, because cram barrels or APS barrels, or any barrel really, can be pretty easy to damage. And if you damaged a barrel enough so that it kind of goes into the turret, the failsafe will often stop the gun from firing, so even if there is a bit of barrel left, it can be completely disabled. Oh my! Looks like the Nidhöggr suffered a hit. Look at that. I don't know where we are damaged, but somewhere we are. Boom, look at that. What a uppercut, ladies and gentlemen. The Nidhöggr has been uppercut again. The cram shells keep plopping in. 89%. Not a good day for a airship system. Well, at least the fire is being put out, but we are collecting penalty points. It looked like the Nidhöggr would win. Netrameira looked like the obvious victor of this battle, but collecting penalty points, the Nidhöggr is going down to the depth. It is, however, a double elimination tournament, yes, but it's also best of 3, so to decide the results today, we have a best of 3 scenario. Will the Nidhöggr do better next time, or is the Hexadecapod by plate glass armor the better ship? Well, stay and find out. There we are for round 2, so let the round start. The Hexadecapod is speeding up, launching its first volley of cram shells. Nidhöggr is obviously spamming those shells. Ooh, they are getting close here. I'm just curious to check out the array here. I wonder... I don't really know how it works, but it's interesting. Smoke. Oh well. Well, we're spamming in shells coming in, and obviously they are like shooting all over the place. We are just spamming hash fragments into the interiors here. Like, I'll just have to pause the game a tiny little bit and just... I just want you to see the swarm of hash... Oh, we obviously haven't started to go through yet, right? We have a lot of air gaps on the Hexadecapod. It is using alloy as air gaps, so it's not good air gaps against fire or plasma, but it's decent air gap against small hash. It will put up some strength for a good time. First battle starts out like the previous. The Netrameira's Nidhöggr, she's completely dominating the scene for the first couple of minutes at least. Now we're gonna see if that will be upheld or not. All of this small caliber stuff coming in there. Netrameira isn't hit at all so far. I wonder if any of the missiles are reaching, I mean torpedoes. Finally, the Netrameira's Nidhöggr did indeed lose its last battle because the enemy it faced was pretty immune against the torpedoes. Stuff will do that. Now, the Hexadecapod isn't immune against torpedoes, but it seems to be a little bit difficult to hit nonetheless. Torpedoes are being launched. I'm almost wondering, do them torpedoes just have enough, not enough speed, or do they just not have good enough APN or something? Wow. The Hexadecapod, is it just me or has it kind of almost stopped? No? Wait a second. Are we like zigzagging here? It feels like we're wiggling away, and that seems to keep the torpedoes at bay. That's a rhyme. Look at that. The torpedoes are finally starting to catch up, but yeah. Now they're also despawning. Yeah, the Hexadecapod is the only thing that is damaged so far. We're gonna be interesting to see if we're gonna have a similar result to last time. Because now it really looks like the Nidhöggr is having the upper hand. I'm almost starting to think that these missiles will start to reach. They are like inching closer, but it's like they're just a little bit too slow. The Hexadecapod has a top speed of 92 meters per second. Well, there we have a hydrofoil. And that's why we do hydrofoils, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. The distance between the torps have kind of increased. Okay. 94% versus 100. Oh, the Nidhöggr got a hit. How serious is that? 2%? Oh, it's in the front here. I don't think that is too vital, but I think it can go real fast when it comes to airships like this, so we better check out and do a quick damage assessment. Just lighting up here a little bit, checking the interiors. It's so dark. And it seems that only fragments got here and there. I don't see a substantial interior damage. No, it seems to only be surface level stuff, right? Well, in that case, let us continue and see. Swarm is coming in, 98 versus 93. Oh, look at that. We're starting to dig through to the internals here. We have fire started as well. Oh man. Look at that. The Hexadecapod's interiors are on fire. The speed is fanning the flames. The Hesh is like creating absolute havoc. Look at that. 91. This is gonna go so fast. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what Hesh can do to interiors. Without any interior armor, if Hesh gets in, man. And remember, it will do this to your interiors if you don't have air gaps. Whoa! What? Ladies and gentlemen, what happened? What happened? It's not dead. It's on fire. But it's not dead. Oh my god. We had some sort of chain explosion here. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. We seem to have ejectors, so it shouldn't be a chain reaction event. But it looked like a chain reaction of the magazines or something like that. That's a quick drop in health. Netrameda down to 85% and the Hexadecapod is at 89. Oh, if these cram shells are gonna hit, they are gonna hit. This will be it. I'm pretty sure, no? Oh yeah. This absolutely will be it. The Nidhöggr will not survive this, but it was very close at winning this particular battle. You can see we are pretty dead in the water, and bam, there it goes. That is 2 wins for the Hexadecapod, 0 wins for the Nidhöggr, which means that it doesn't matter what we have for results in the next battle, because the Hexadecapod is the victor and the Nidhöggr is the loser. After all, even though it only uses cram cannons and barely could hit for most of the battle. That is some results, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we obviously will have to have a 3rd round, because otherwise it will not be fun. Let's check it out. Could Netrameda have a chance, or was these 2 results very representative? 3rd round, here we go. Oh my! Is the fire rate of these shells quick enough for them to... Look at that! They spawn so many shells that they're actually despawning. And now they start to hit the mark. There's when you saturate the maximum amount of APS shells, they'll just start to despawn. I haven't used this as a tactic yet, but I imagine you could have like super high firing guns and make the enemy guns like, I don't know, not reach you at all. So maybe if you have a super spammy small caliber guns, you may be immune to your enemy's APS railguns, maybe? I don't know if it prioritizes which side the missiles come from or not. Look at that! The missiles are getting close, man. Uah. Bam! They are popping in here. This can be a game changer, by the way, if it deletes too many of these azipods. it's gonna be slow, which means that the rest of the torpedoes will come in. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Poor Hexadecapod. It's already won the battle, so I mean, whatever. But poor Hexadecapod getting clipped. Speed clipped by those pesky torpedoes coming in here. Well, it would be neat for the Nidhöggr to get some kind of honorary revenge at least, even though the results are of course finalized. The Nidhöggr is to be seen no more in this little tournament. The Hexadecapod is the stronger ship we've seen so far. But we can see here, when the torpedoes manages to hit, we can potentially clip the speed of the Hexadecapod, and that this have a big likelihood of actually changing the results of the entire battle. If these torpedoes pop in here, they are not being hurt by any type of seaways system, so they are, well, they're just gonna go there. And with that frag too, man, having that fragmentation be angled slightly upwards, that would have been absolute gold. That's like a good way to do torpedoes that come from underneath, so that they like kill interiors, kill turrets. Yeah. Look at that. Wow. Hexadecapod 83%. We're only 2 minutes in. Are you absolutely kidding me? Ah, and a turret has been lost. Look at that. And due to that first bout of torps actually being able to hit, the plate glass armor couldn't utilize its superior speed. Wow. I'm so glad we ran this little third battle here. I'm so glad we started doing this, because if we don't, we miss so many results. And I mean, it's entirely possible that the Hexadecapod just were lucky the 2 times, but I think the results are pretty, they usually are pretty representative. That's why we do best of 3, by the way. If we only have 1 versus 1, it's too much about luck. But due to time constraints, that it takes a long time to record stuff like this, most tournament arrangers do have single elimination. And I understand that, no shame on that at all. But when we're testing big battleships like this, I really want to make sure who is the stronger battleship. I think best of 3 is the right way to go. Looking at that. Well, I'll just want to say big thanks to all of the people who are supporting the channel right now. Our commissioned officers, that is our Patreons: Captain Awesome Pupper, Commander Ben Wilkie, Commander Delphin, Lieutenants Ali, Anto, Cravey, Flowers Dagon, Daniel Saikin, Owen, Parba Greed, Vincent Veritas, Rick Brell, Scooby Rocks, and all our cadets. Big thanks for serving the Empire via Patreon. Also, big thanks to everyone in the ecclesiarchy of GMODISM. And with your special skills to see into the future, you have the ability to see videos in early access. Yeah, that's you know, because of your ecclesiastical work, you see. And also, of course, big thanks if anyone joined the government of GMODISM yet. And if you are considering a support option where you would like to just support the channel with the most amount as possible, with like as little as possible going to transfer fees, well, then I definitely recommend you to join the government of GMODISM. Anyways, big thanks to all of our current supporters. And well fought, Netramedas Nidhöggr. Truly a very strong design, managing to defeat the Hexadecapod here this last little round. Very interesting. Well, Congratulations to plate glass armor, however, the Hexadecapod will be continuing in this little tournament. In loser's bracket though, but you know, it still could win. So we'll see about that later. And if you stayed for this little end screen too, thanks a lot, extra thanks to you. Don't forget to like the video, by the way. And I'll see you next time. This is your host Eric of GMODISM, and I'm signing out.